This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 12th day of September in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. The leader of a Partnership for National Unity and PNC Reform leader Aubrey Norton has named the 12 candidates who will be taking up the party's seats when the next parliament convenes. At a press conference this morning, Mr. Norton confirmed that he will not be returning to the National Assembly. He also confirmed that the party's caucus will be led by businessman Terence Campbell. The other candidates heading to Parliament are Jarita Finance, Dexter Todd, Vince Roy Jordan, Ganesh Mahipal, Nima Flubes, Coretta MacDonald, Dr. David Hines, Riaz Ripnarine, Shara Duncan, Saiku Andrews, and Mayor of Linden, Sharma Solomon. Norton said his party has also identified persons to represent the APNU at a regional level in the various regions. He said the elections are over and it is time to move forward, adding that he is vowing to redouble his efforts to ensure that the party can perform better at the next polls.
As I said before, I will not be returning to Parliament, but I will continue as leader of the People's National Congress Reform. I will work to continue the rebuilding of the party. Like I said in the statement I made after the elections, our party is like a good oak tree. It will re-emerge and re-emerge stronger and better.
Asked for a reason behind his decision not to return to the National Assembly, Mr. Norton said he believes that he has served and it is time to make way for new blood. He said he believes also that his task now is to get the party in shape to hand it over to new leadership whenever the time comes, hinting that he has no plans to run for the party leadership in the future. With the party's dismal showing at the September 1 elections, Mr. Norton said he does not intend to pursue a blame game, but will sit with his party's executive to examine exactly what went wrong. As it relates to his own leadership, he said his party will decide on the way forward at the next Congress.
I have said before that we have a process ongoing to analyze the situation. There are a multiplicity of reasons why anything could have happened, and I'm not the kind who is going to just go down and condemn or comment on anything I read.
And as it relates to the candidates list, although the APNU had a number of parties that made up its pact, the Working People's Alliance is the only other party outside of the PNC and the former AFC members to be given a seat.
We had to make a decision not only on parties but on a group that can represent all of us. And when I looked at it and engaged with people, we thought that this was the best representation.
The APNU leader is maintaining his view that if there was a pre-election coalition with the AFC, the outcome of the elections would have been better. The two sides did not reach a new agreement on a coalition. Norton said the review process is active and the party will move forward. More news coming up in just a moment.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Courts presents the Home Event 2025, happening now at Court stores nationwide. It's the perfect time to refresh your home. Come explore new arrivals, bestsellers, and deals you can't resist. Discover the widest range of stylish furniture, cutting-edge TVs, audio systems, and appliances that are smart and energy efficient, all backed by the Court's low price guarantee. Our experts will help you choose what you need for your home. Shop with Court's Ready Finance and get more. Don't miss the Court Home Event 2025. Quartz, bringing value home.
The new Demerara River Bridge is on schedule to be open to vehicular traffic before the end of this month, according to President APNU. Ongoing works are ongoing on the approach roads to the bridge. On the eastern side of the bridge, a roundabout is being constructed at the approach point along Heroes Highway. President Ali visited the work site this afternoon and said work is moving apace and on schedule, adding that load testing on the bridge is also ongoing.
So the final phase of testing in relation to the roads, the load testing on the bridge is ongoing also. The full load testing will be completed on the bridge so that we will have this project ready for use long before the end of this month. So I'm pleased to see the final phase of the approach road work and the roundabout. From what I've seen, that would also be completed in the course of another three days maximum, from what I'm told.
The president said the government is also looking at the further expansion of Heroes Highway to accommodate additional traffic.
What we are also looking at is the expansion of the Heroes Highway into adding 2 collectors lane to take the traffic that goes directly onto the what we call the Hogsbush interconnection going all the way back to Ogle. So the engineers are looking at that also so that you can have greater efficiency in terms of traffic flow. On the west side of the bridge, of course, there's a collector lane that has been added to take the traffic from the west bank directly off of the bridge and to put it back on the west bank carriageway instead of going around the roundabout on the west side of the bridge. So these additional work are being completed so that we can have a beautiful bridge, but also good traffic management in the process.
President Ali said the ultimate goal is to have the greatest efficiency in traffic management and the construction of 2 flyover roads also. Those projects are expected to come on stream at a later date. The 4-lane bridge spans 2.6 kilometers, connecting Nandi Park on the east bank of the Demerara to Lagrange on the west bank. Its total width, including the 4 lanes, shoulders, and median, is just over 23 meters, providing ample space for safe and efficient traffic flow. With a height of 50 meters, the bridge is specifically designed to accommodate Handymax vessels passing underneath. It is being constructed at a cost of $260 million US. President Irfan Ali has announced the appointment of 4 permanent secretaries to join his new government as he begins to chart the way forward for his administration. The president's office today announced the appointment of Sharon Rupchan Edwards as the new permanent secretary for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. She previously served as the permanent secretary for the Tourism Ministry. It was also announced that former Chief Planning Officer of the Local Government Ministry, Roger Rogers, will now serve as the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, while Duan Ellis, who served up until recently as the Acting Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Human Services, will now serve as the Permanent Secretary for the Agriculture Ministry. Additionally, it was announced that former Regional Health Officer Dr. Erika Fort will serve as the new Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security. The President's office announced that President Ali met this morning with Permanent Secretaries and Deputy Permanent Secretaries and shared his government's vision while setting clear expectations for their roles in advancing national development. The president emphasized that his administration will move swiftly to modernize the delivery of government services through a fully digitized framework with a strong focus on customer service, efficiency, transparency, and results-driven performance. He also underscored that the transformation must remain people-centered, with reliability, efficiency, and timely delivery as the guiding principles, according to his office.
than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Starbrook Market.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
The September 1 elections were about big bucks, and going forward, the People's National Congress reform-led APNU must find the resources to do more than lay out its policies and programs for Guyana. That's according to the leader of the PNC reform, Norton. The coalition of parties is currently conducting a review of its dismal performance at the elections. But during an appearance on Sources, which will air this Sunday, Mr. Norton said money played a big part in the elections and influenced the voting patterns.
Once you came with money and offer, a lot of people were lured by it, and so I think finance played a critical role in these elections in a way that they never played before. And I think there was no doubt that there was buying of votes and all the bribery that went along with the 2025 elections.
At the just concluded elections, the APNU lost thousands of votes to both the PP Civic and the newly formed We Invest in Nationhood Party. The coalition lost its strongholds to both the PP Civic and the Win Party, so much so that it has been replaced by Win as the main opposition in the next parliament. Norton admitted the APNU's poor performance was as a result of some of its ground soldiers resigning in the lead-up to the elections to join forces with Win, resulting in an erosion of support in favor of Win. But that too, he said, was influenced by money.
I sense what we have to do moving forward is to find wealthy people who are willing to support the APNU and move forward. It can no longer be a situation where you just rely on your policies, your programs, etc. That's not going to...
You have to have money.
You have to have money. That is going to be a critical factor.
He said the reality is while voters favored the party's policies and programs heading into the elections, it came down to bread and butter issues, and many opted to vote for a Win over APNU.
I know of one case in Linden where the man's business had collapsed. He didn't have resources. He wasn't likely to do well politically, and so he opted to go where money was.
The international observers in their preliminary reports have called for campaign financing legislation to be strengthened and operationalized in Guyana, with a number of them raising concern about the abuse of state resources by the incumbent to fuel its campaign. The European Union Election Observer Mission said the incumbency had an undue advantage over the other political parties that contested the elections, and as such distorted the playing field during the election campaign. A recovering Lolita calendar, also known as Lola Doll, has provided a name of the person she says shot her multiple times to her body last Saturday night as she sat in her car just outside her home. In a video recording released on social media, the singer and social media sensation, who remains hospitalized, said she saw her attacker and watched him as he opened fire on her and walked away from the scene.
Hey guys, it's Auntie Lola. I Now, catch myself. Y'all know I'm a fighter, right? Y'all know this ain't going down like that. But I saw the person that tried to take my life. Yes, I saw him. And I'm happy that no bullet went to my head to kill me. Because what he did, I need justice. I need justice from Guyana Police Force. They're not looking into nothing.
Calendar provided the alias of the person she said shot her, explaining that she watched him in the face as he shot her and walked away.
I watched him in the eyes. I watched him shoot. I watched him walk off. Yeah, please help me to get him arrested and lock away.
News source understands that Calendar provided the same alias of the person to the police investigators during an interview earlier this week. This afternoon, kidnapping accused Wayne Barker turned himself over to investigators in the company of an attorney for questioning. Barker, who was among 7 men charged last year for the abduction of a Kitty resident who is still to be found, reportedly surrendered, since his alias matches the one that Calendar provided to the police as the person who shot her. Investigations are ongoing tonight. The victims of yesterday's fire in James Street, Albouystown, which flattened 4 buildings, have started to receive support from the government and other groups and organizations. More than 30 persons were left homeless by the blaze. In wake of the fire, the Civil Defense Commission has operationalized a shelter at the 6-Head Lewis Gym located in Albouystown to accommodate those displaced by the fire. The government also provided financial assistance to the sum of $50,000 as a starter to each of the families affected by the blaze, in addition to food, mattresses, and other essentials. When news source returned to the scene of the fire today, a team from the Ministry of Home Affairs Utility Section was underground assisting with the clearing of debris from the burnt-out site. Across the street, 26-year-old Kelly Ann Andrews gazed at the remains of what used to be her home. The mother of 3 said she spent the night at her father along with her children. She said support is needed as many of the victims lost everything in the fire.
Yes, they said they're going to help we. They said they're going to get a 3 months, not find a place, and they're going to pay 3 months rent. But I trying to figure out something happened to all my stuff, them that damage. Everything for me, guys do air and all everything. I had my own little part set up wise to me air.
She also said while the initial support is welcomed, she's hoping to get help to build back her home and restart her small business, which was also gutted by the blaze. The owner of 2 of the buildings that were completely gutted, Mohammed Din, said he is still counting his losses and will be thankful for any support.
My children send a lot of things from overseas in container, and a lot of things pack up there, downstairs, in the garage. And all those things bought up, like generator and different things as well.
Din had a total of 9 tenants in 2 of his buildings. He said he was at home in the 3rd building when he heard persons raising an alarm over the fire. Over at the 6-Head Lewis Gym where the shelter has been set up, 32-year-old Alicia Farnham told news source that she was at work when she received news of the blaze. She said she hurried home, but was unable to save anything.
I was at work when I got a call yesterday that my house is burning down, and when I came, it's already everything went down destroyed. I couldn't save nothing, none of my documents, my children birth certificate, everything destroyed. Everything for the girls, the uniform, all our utensils, the furniture, everything destroyed. We have nothing. And right now we're trying to get a place to stay. It's really hard. We're gonna start from scratch from everything.
Another fire victim said she is a young mother and will be grateful for any assistance.
They come last night. The ministers, they went last night. They helped us out a lot, I would say, because they gave us money, and they 50,000 each to everyone who affected, and they gave us mattresses and stuff last night. They make sure they bring breakfast this morning, but we're supposed to have a meeting with them at 10 o'clock. Because they were even encouraging us if some of us who have land and wherever we could go in to the, within the government and see what we could get from them. So we're waiting on the meeting to know what's up. But they've been helping since last night. I wouldn't lie, they were helping since last night. And this is what I say, we're very grateful to.
Meanwhile, members of the People's National Congress reform-led APNU were also seen underground today, taking food supplies and other supplies to hand over to the affected persons. The party said it will continue to lend support to those affected and will also encourage others to do the same. Meanwhile, Divisional Officer of the Guyana Fire Service, Andrew Holder, said the fire service is still assessing the damage done by the fire as it continues with the investigations.
Live the island dream. It's your chance to be one of over 100 winners in the Island Dream promotion. Win your share of more than $1 million in cash and prizes. Plus 2 all-inclusive weekend staycations for 2. And that's not all. Score coolers packed with Buster, Turbo, Altitude and Viva. Just buy any can or bottle of Turbo, Buster, Altitude or Viva. Find the code starting with BB. Then visit at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean on IG or Facebook for details. Live the island dream, get money. Live the island dream.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall. In the region, former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro was sentenced Thursday to 27 years and 3 months in prison, hours after being convicted of plotting a coup to remain in power after losing the 2022 election, dealing a powerful rebuke to one of the world's most prominent far-right leaders, according to Reuters. The conviction ruling by a panel of 5 justices in Brazil's Supreme Court, who also agreed on the sentence, made the 70-year-old Bolsonaro the first former president in the country's history to be convicted for attacking democracy and drew disapproval from the Trump administration. This criminal case is almost a meeting between Brazil and its past, its present, and its future, Justice Carmen Lucia said before her vote to convict Bolsonaro. There was ample evidence that Bolsonaro, who is currently under house arrest, acted with the purpose of eroding democracy and institutions, she added. 4 of the 5 judges voted to convict the former president of 5 crimes, taking part in an armed criminal organization, attempting to violently abolish democracy, organizing a coup, and demanding government property and protected cultural assets. The conviction of Bolsonaro, a former army captain who never hid his admiration for the military dictatorship that killed hundreds of Brazilians between 1964 and 1985, follows legal condemnations for other far-right leaders this year. None of the 11 people killed in a U.S. military strike on a boat in the Caribbean last week were members of Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, Venezuela's interior minister said Thursday, as the South American nation deployed troops amid heightened tensions with the U.S. The administration of U.S. President Donald Trump has said the boat was transporting illegal narcotics, but has provided scant further information about the incident, even amid demands from members of the U.S. Congress for a justification for the action. The Interior Minister said, and I quote, "They openly confessed to killing 11 people," end of quote. He added, and I quote, "We have done our investigations here in our country, and when we asked in the tongues, none from Tren de Agua, none were traffickers." End of quote. The Venezuelan government said after the incident that a video post by Trump of the strike was artificial intelligence. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said Thursday his country would deploy military, police, and civilian defenses at 284 battlefront locations across the country, his latest show of military capacity. The Trump administration has ratcheted up the U.S. military presence in the Southern Caribbean as part of what it says is a crackdown on drug smugglers, and ordered the deployment of 10 F-35 fighter jets to a Puerto Rico airfield. Maduro, who has alleged the U.S. military is hoping to drive him from power, did not say how many military, police, or civilian militias would participate in the new deployment. His government has already announced an increase of 25,000 troops for states along Venezuelan borders with Colombia that are drug trafficking hubs. And finally tonight, international news. A young Utah man suspected of killing the influential conservative activist Charlie Kirk at the university was in custody on Friday, the governor Spencer Cox told reporters. In a report, Reuters stated that the suspect, identified as Tyler Robertson, had confessed to a family friend or implied that he had committed the murder to that friend, and that person in turn had contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office on Thursday. A family member interviewed by investigators said Robertson had become more politically recently and spoke in a disparaging manner about Kirk, Cox told reporters. Robertson was taken into custody on Thursday night, about 33 hours after Kirk's murder, FBI Director Kash Patel said at the press conference. Kirk, a close ally of the U.S. president, was killed by a single bullet as he spoke on stage at the university on Wednesday. Previously, U.S. investigators said they had found a bolt-action rifle believed to have been used to kill Kirk and released images of a person of interest. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant weekend.